all right. YouTube. Here go academics. So this live stream, academics is gonna like allude to that Kendrick Lamar is somehow a pedophile because he called out Drake for being a PDF file. Yeah. So if you call out something that is, I'm not gonna say obvious, but maybe there's a little breadcrumb. Not saying that Drake is a PDF file, but there are a lot of moments that just make you scratch your head and say, Drake, why are you on the stage with that young lady saying these things, and she's young, and when she said that she's young, you say, dang, why you so fine? So not saying that it's a PDF moment because, I think that young lady was above age, of consent, but it just shows you like, that's interesting. And there's a lot of other things, right? But y'all already seen those videos. So it say, hey, Drake, I heard you like him young. So when Kendrick says that, but he does say certified, however you want to take that. Did Drake give Kendrick ammo to say that? It's not like he just, picking it out the blue. Not saying that Drake is one. I don't, but he just gives room to, think whatever you want to think. So since Kendrick Lamar said what he said, now academics is going to try to flip it on Kendrick and say, hold up, since you said that he's a PDF, you must be a PDF. Now he's going to be talking about some random guy, but he's going to transition into Kendrick and Drake.
Now, to be fair, this soundbite is taken out of context. He's obviously quoting somebody else, but as somebody who's part of the culture, it's up to him to be smart enough to realize he shouldn't be using certain words, regardless of context.
Now, I'm glad this guy said that, right? Now, number one, I'm always going to be fair. These guys give me no, with them, they're like, ask a child groomer! Like, they have no context. They're not going to be like, yo, maybe you shouldn't say that, but like, in bigger context, niggas joking around. No. They jump to the most extreme because the most extreme and these, like, these words to kind of get you, like, it's like, they want to get you out of here, right? To be very clear, I listened to this clip. I think Academic TV posted it. It doesn't seem like he's just saying it. It does seem like he's kind of like, repeating something of whatever was said. And that is a little bit of context that, because I just don't give a fuck to, like, maybe if I was a smaller creator, I was just like, I just got to do a hit list. No. So there's some context to that, right? However, this is the guy. Anthony Fantano is the guy he's the person who knows about sensitivity. He's one of the white guys who can tell you more about black shit than black people, or this is kind of how he parades himself, right? He'll shame black people and use other black people to kind of, anyway, whatever. The point is this, he's not the person to be saying this even in that context. He's supposed to say the N-word. He's supposed to say the F-word. But also, and I'll give this context, and I'm giving excuses that if he was a normal person, not like a witch hunting bitch, I would probably give him these excuses. But you can't give a person this excuse because he's acting like he's been perfect his whole life. I would probably say, there was a time in hip-hop that, the N-word never cool, but the F-word, I know I've heard Cam say the F-word. There's songs Cam said the F-word in. Now people have kind of like cleansed their language where people don't say the F-word, they just say the F-word, if you get what I mean. So maybe I could say, this was older, where if he's quoting somebody, people maybe at that time wouldn't look at him weird by saying, not gonna say the N-word. The N-word is crazy. But the F-word, be like, whatever. But this is the guy who's act like, he wanted people to act like he's perfect. So we gotta cook him like he's perfect, right? He who acts perfect needs to be perfect. So let's keep it going.
Context or not. He's not black. He's a guest here. If this was where it ended, I don't think I really would have cared very much, to be honest with you. I actually had to re-record this video because at first this is all that I saw. But then once I went on Twitter again and saw the other things that were resurfaced, I had to bring it up. Check it out here.
Dude, fuck Trayvon.
So once again, he's talking about someone else, but he's going to transition to Drake and Kendrick.
Thinking Trey Melvin. I had a big thing with Trey Melvin.
Trayvon Martin.
It's all these fucking black names, dude. I get confused.
Whoa!
These are the types of issues.
Yo, what a surprise. I keep telling you. Listen, there's a lot of, and by the way, he falls up under this like dark Kenny weirdo type of lane too. A lot of these dudes that are these white guys who are super like into trying to solidify this super pro-black agenda, right? Because play this, they'll look at me like I'm a sellout, right? You have white dudes who are like, no, we fuck with Kendrick. He's right. Drake isn't like us. And I'm like, what do you mean like us? You're white. And they'd be like, well, like Kendrick. And they'd be like, well, if you like Drake, you like the other shit. And I'm like, but you're white. A lot of times they're closeted racists who They realize the best way to take the heat or the pressure off of maybe their past actions, because they all know we live in a woke world, is to continually point the finger. By the way, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a meme that goes around. I don't want to make this a Kendrick and Drake thing. I actually believe it. There's like the saying that says, Kendrick is Kendrick is actually the person who he's accusing Drake of being. And I actually think that's true. The people who constantly are always pointing, he's a predator. That's most of Kendrick little super supporters. I start to wonder about them. He's a predator. He's a predator. He's a predator. If you go around all day as a person, like if you're a person going around all day looking for racists, there's probably some type of smoke there that maybe you have some racist thoughts your damn self. That's just the reality of it. So does it surprise me that Anthony Fantano is hanging around?
So let's put this in full context. So academics is alluding to the fact that Kendrick Lamar spends his whole day, all day, every day, pointing out predators / pedophile. The last time I checked, no, the only song that I could think of is Not Like Us. Or, well, just in the battle, right? Maybe, did he say it? Meet the Grams to keep your kids away. But he didn't spend all day. That was a rap battle. That was a rap battle. So just because he spoke it out on a rap battle, that means that he's that. That sounds a lot of a deflection. That's a lot of deflection. That sounds like deflection right there. Because I'm not going to say it's the obvious, but if you give someone some nuggets to formulate thoughts about people's actions, about someone's actions, and you're sitting there rubbing your head like, why does this person keep putting himself in this situation? Not saying that Drake is one, not saying that he's not one. I don't know. But there is definitely a lot of questionable situations where you're like, Drake, you must like him young. Now, young and legal is nothing wrong, but just because it's legal doesn't mean that it's right, in my opinion, right? You can go to Africa, or you can go to Europe, or you can go to these other countries where the age of consent is 14. Does that make it right? Are you going to do it? So when I hear people lean on the crutch of, well, it's not illegal, that makes me think, damn, so if 14 was legal, you would do it. I don't care what the government says. I don't care what the law says. As a grown-ass man, I'm not having sex with a 14-year-old girl just because it's legal. So when I hear people trying to, go to the fact of, well, they're legal, so that means if there was 14, you would do it too. I think that's the wrong approach. But, everybody's entitled to, do what they want to do. And if it's legal, I mean, cool. But people can still voice their opinion about it. But like, man, listen, it's legal and all, but he's a nasty motherfucker. And that's people's opinion. That's people right. So just because people have an opinion, it doesn't mean they are guilty of whatever they're trying to point the finger at somebody else. Nah, man, that ain't cool, academics. Because you say a lot of things about other people. So does that mean you are what you say what they are? No, I'm sure you're just giving your observation and you're just giving your, thoughts that you formulated, and you want to articulate yourself based on somebody's actions, based on somebody's behavior. So what's the problem when other people do it? So let's listen to it again.
Around of it. Smoke there that going around all day. Kendrick little super supporters. Kendrick is actually the person who he's accused. There's a meme. Oh no, we live in a woke world. Is to continually point the finger. By the way, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a meme that goes around. I don't want to make this a Kendrick and Drake thing. I actually believe it. There's like the saying that says, Kendrick is Kendrick is actually the person who he's accusing Drake of being. And I actually think that's true. The people who constantly are always pointing, he's a predator. That's most of Kendrick little super supporters. I start to wonder about them. He's a predator. He's a predator. He's a predator. If you go around all day as a person, like if you're a person going around all day looking for racists, there's probably some type of smoke there that maybe you have some racist thoughts your damn self. That's just the reality of it. So does it surprise?
That's not the reality. That's just your opinion. Now, if somebody states the obvious, then it is what it is. So instead of taking accountability for your own actions, now you want to deflect and say, oh, since you called me this, you must be this. No, that's deflection. That's deflection. So y'all leave a comment down below. Let me play a little bit more and see. I think he may say something else about Drake and Kendrick.
Surprise me that Anthony Fantano is hanging around a bunch of dudes who seemingly, you know, are racist. No. Somebody had comment on this. This is good. You got to do more of these. He says, thank you for your blessing. Huh. Okay.
Oh!
These are the types of
Trayvon Martin.
Oh!
love culture example. Other side hip hop to far side.
I came up on Google or YouTube. Phil Rizdon. Algorithm, they usually only bring up popular videos. Now
Listen to that. Really being out.
you're a bitch for Chicago. They up there cackling. And then he invites me to come sit with him. The same nigga. Okay? His name is Adam Freeland. This is your out with a racist.
I think that might be it.
Okay? He gave me the dossier on him. Grand national treasure, bro. I said thank you. Freeland. People. Sir.
Okay, yeah. I think that's it. So y'all leave a comment down below, all right? It's your boy DMD signing out.